There is one question about yourself that you can ask, but no matter how hard you ask it, you will never answer correctly. In 1995, a man named McArthur Wheeler robbed two banks in Pittsburgh with his face coated in lemon juice. He was completely convinced the security cameras would never see him. The interesting part isn't that he was wrong. It's that he tested it. He had a theory, he tried it, and the test told him he was right. The case eventually reached David Dunning at Cornell University, who handed it to his student, Dunning-Kruger. The study they published in 1999 is now one of psychology's most quoted, least understood results. And there's a part almost nobody repeats, the part that should actually unsettle you. Inside Wheeler's head, his logic actually held together. Lemon juice was used to make invisible ink. The writing appeared when heated. So he figured that rubbing it on his face would make him invisible to the camera. He and a friend even tested it with a Polaroid camera. His face didn't come out clearly in the photo, probably because of the angle or the light. But the test gave him the answer he wanted. So he confidently walked into two banks, no mask, right in front of the security cameras. Hours later, police found him at home. The cameras had captured him perfectly clearly. His face was even recognized off the news broadcast. Newspapers dubbed him the Lemon Juice Bandit. His photo made the headlines. Wheeler's reaction became almost as famous as he was. He told police he couldn't believe it, not that he'd been caught, but that the lemon juice hadn't worked. As far as he was concerned, the experiment shouldn't have failed. The newspaper clipping landed on the desk of David Dunning, a psychology professor at Cornell. The question that fascinated him was, if a person can misjudge their own skill this badly, where's the limit? Dunning set up an experiment with his student, Dunning-Kruger. They gave participants tests on grammar, logic, and sense of humor. Then they asked everyone the same question. What percentile do you think your score falls in compared to everyone else? The result traced a clear pattern. The worst performers on the test believed they were well above average. Published in 1999, this study now carries the name the Dunning-Kruger effect. But here's the most overlooked line in the paper. Kruger and Dunning wrote that incompetent people aren't just wrong. They lack the very tool needed to notice it. Spotting a mistake and avoiding it run on the exact same mental hardware. If you don't understand the logic, you give the wrong answer, and you also don't know what the right one looks like. So you don't lose these two things separately. The moment you lose one, you've already lost the other. And that's exactly why this flaw hides itself so well. The numbers make it even more striking. On the logic test, participants in the bottom 25th percentile placed themselves, on average, at the 62nd percentile. They were actually in the bottom quarter of the class, but they placed themselves in the top half. That gap was a 37-point illusion. The grammar and humor tests repeated the same pattern, with almost the same numbers. The strange part is, these people aren't lying. They genuinely feel that way because the yardstick they use to judge their own answers is their own incomplete knowledge. A mind that mistakes a wrong answer for a right one has to use that same mistaken mind to measure its own error. This isn't limited to lab tests. In 1981, psychologist Ola Svensson asked American and Swedish drivers how they rated themselves against other drivers. 93% of participants rated themselves an above-average driver. But that's mathematically impossible. There's a limit to how many people can be above average. So why can't we just ask someone else and learn the truth? Because the same blind spot kicks in when you're judging someone else's judgment too. If you don't understand the subject, you can't tell who's actually right either. Quietly, you just move into a more crowded version of the same delusion. But the truly surprising part of the study is about the highest scores. The best performers on the test guessed themselves into a lower percentile than they actually earned. They saw how easy the questions felt to them and wrongly assumed the questions were just as easy for everyone else. They mistook their own competence for something ordinary that everyone shared. So the least competent trust themselves too much, and the most competent doubt themselves. Both are the same mental illusion reflected from opposite directions. Put it all together, and you get the strangest truth in any meeting room. The loudest, most confident voice in the room is often the one who knows the least. The actual expert usually speaks more carefully because they know exactly how complex the topic is and how much remains unknown. Every new piece of knowledge reminds them how much more they don't know. That's why in meeting rooms, on social media, even at family dinners, we look at the loudest person and think they must be right if they're this sure. But certainty was never proof of anything. It's just the feeling of being sure. And the two are far less related than they appear. This idea was actually said out loud 2,400 years ago. When Socrates was told the oracle at Delphi had declared him the wisest man in Athens, he didn't believe it at first. He walked the city, talking to people who considered themselves wise, and noticed the same thing in every one of them. They weren't aware of what they didn't know. Socrates at least knew one thing, that he knew nothing. And that was exactly where his wisdom lived. Not more knowledge, just awareness of his own limits. When McArthur Wheeler coated his face in lemon juice and robbed 2 banks, he was completely certain. Right now, there's something you're completely certain about that you've never questioned. Maybe the most valuable thing you can learn is to doubt that certainty itself.